Hello, welcome to ESL Media. This week we're reviewing a drama called Come and Hug Me. In Korean, that's Iriwa An Ajo. There are a total of 30 episodes. This show began airing in May of 2018. This drama is about a boy who grows up with his father's twisted mind as his influence. But he found out one person that he cares for deeply. The three main actors in this drama are Jang Ji-young, Jin Ki-Yoo, and Han Jin-ho. Ki-Yong, who acts as the father in this drama, is a well-known Korean actor. Even his father in real life is a respected and well-known actor. There's a couple things to notice here. Even in this first poster, there's two extremes, romance and mystery. The light show contrasting the dark and the sweet. It's a father and son story at its heart with a romance behind. There's a psychopathic killer who gives us a twisted affection to his son and shows no remorse at all. In this drama, there is a couple, and they change their name from childhood. You might guess that due to their tragic childhood, so they could separate themselves as child lives and adult lives. The peach blossom tree in this background has a memory to this couple's story. You can sense this emotional connection. The girl has moved into town. In the drama, the girlfriend has a popular actress as a mom. A well-established wealth is coming from both of her parents. Her older brother has a mysterious past. But don't worry, we'll reveal all that by the end. And of course, there is a dog. Dog's name is Lucky. It's a beautiful golden retriever. More to come on that as well. The first day for Nakwon did not go well. She doesn't meet up to the dress code, and talking back to her teacher is never a good idea. Nam-woo intercedes and causes them to be punished together. Nakwon definitely has him. He is shook by her cordial, social, amiable, friendly character. She spends a lot of time making aggressive conversation. Nam-woo pretends to hate this. Clearly, he doesn't. To him, maybe she was the most talkable person who's ever given him any attention. Any teenage boy would be hard to disregard this type of affection. At this point, Nakwon is new in town and thinking to make friends who are genuinely having a good heart. During the first encounter, he was carrying his little sister on his back. That shows what kind of boy he really is. Even though they met recently, it's understandable for her to get close to him. She does show her confidence that she has to introduce herself in this brand new class. Also, she's not shy, and she doesn't bother bragging about her mom being an actress. Something that needs a little bit of attention is the character's name. So the main female, something that needs a little bit of attention are the character's names. So the main female, Nakwon, whose last name is Gil, she changed her name for two reasons. To be an actress, and of course to move on from her tragic past. Her full name in the drama, Gil Nakwon, Nakwon in Korean of course means heaven or paradise, utopia. And Namu goes through the same kind of a name change as well, even though he gets to change his first name, Dojin, his last name Che. His earlier name in the drama, Namu, means tree. Now here's why this is important. You see, a tree doesn't move around. It stays constant. It gives benefit only to others. Nakwon, who was going out here to look for her dog, she found this dog tag near her neighbor's house. Namu feels that something is amiss and decides to check out his father's workshop in the basement. He notices the dog there that belongs to Nakwon. This scene shows that his dad has a hobby of torturing animals as enjoyment. The drama doesn't show this abuse directly. A lot of the storytelling is symbolism, and there is a key object here. We'll call it the handy hammer. As she tracks down her dog, she found Na-woo in his basement with her dog, which of course is caged in not so friendly an atmosphere. She doesn't panic, but logically walks through the issue and winds up rescuing Lucky. Na-woo's father walks in at this point and witnesses the two unwelcome figures in his private place. He's reacting rather rude towards Nakwon and makes a big scene. You know, she's going to have to pay for this appearance in his house with some sort of unknown punishment. Na-woo gets through this tense situation and informs his father that she's his classmate and his friend. Furthermore, he'll take her back to her house, and he's worried that eventually his father's going to do some harm to this friend. It seems that this was the first time Na-woo has ever stood up to his father. His father finds this rather amusing, and he disguises his unpleasant feelings by covering up with grins and smiles and some jokes. But he's not going to let go of the situation. He's going to save it for later. Na-woo is talking Nakwon to her house, and they're sharing one umbrella, and they're holding hands. He seems as if he's scared for her. They walk through the peach blossom lane, and he's clearly mulling over many potential problems. Yet she has to worry that Na-woo will be displeased on how she's acted towards his father when they've just become friends. He asks her to forget about that and forget about him and forget about his house and stay away from him, everything to do with him for her own safety. She's willing to forget all other things, but she's not going to stop liking him. Something tells me this will be where the relationship will be later on. As she's binding his wound with her handkerchief, he feels like they are being bound together. She could make his life different from now on. Here he's saying to himself that after first contact, all other matters don't exist. You know, every good drama should leave you questioning your RL. This one asks two questions. Do you have a paradise? What is your paradise? You see, Na-woo knows her family's very different from his, and he felt warmness from her mother as they're talking about her deceased mom. He doesn't know that he's been living with his stepmom for the last 2 years, but he's striving not to cause any more stress at home. Nakwon's mother, who is an actress and has an understanding heart, doesn't push Na-woo to contact his stepmother at this point. Nakwon's dad is also welcoming, although Nakwon's brother, on the other hand, gives a lot of distance. This brother shows a personality, and he has something that he's hiding from them. Maybe later on he's going to reveal what all these strange actions mean. When he came back from Nakwon's house, he found that his father was waiting for him. His father was taking him back down memory lane. A lesson his father had been teaching him while he'd been growing up comes up. Only the strongest get to survive. They need to cast out all things that cause weakness and all things that cause emotion. His father had left the handy hammer as a gift to him, as if his father were handing down some sort of legacy, which of course is the legacy of a serial killer and a psychopath. This small side hammer keeps appearing as a symbol of Namu's father of power and control. For the moment, Namu covers this up, hiding it, but later on his brother finds it. His older brother is also showing signs of these kinds of troubles. He wants to get approval from his father, and his father continually telling his older son that the younger one is much better at everything he does. After the stepmother had gotten in a fight with the other neighbor ladies, she suspects that her husband has a new girlfriend. See, she found him acting strange, disposing of a purse and ID, things like that. That's when she realized that her husband maybe is the serial killer that they've been talking about in the news. When his stepmother decided to then run away, she ran into a hassle, and she ran into Namu, who she thought was going to stop her from leaving. But on the other hand, Namu understands, he even makes an alibi for them to have more time to get away. His father rants about his wife's disappearance, but he doesn't suspect that the son was the one who helped them. Namu becomes even more alone. He felt the emptiness without his stepsister. He became more isolated and more lonely. After his late family, stepmother, and little sister gone, he felt this isolation make him weaker and hopeless, and he says to himself, you become stronger when you have something to protect. When this drama started, it started with an adult Namu, who was, of course, then later on, a boy Namu. You see, this name, of course, changed. In summary, we actually find out what happened back then and why this couple got separated. Nakwon also has grown up and started her acting career. She has a panic disorder and is causing conflict in her career. Nawu has grown up and wants to be a cop. When he asked why he wanted to be a policeman, he said that he wants to do his personal atonement. This was the way to repay his unforgivable father. His father, feeling handed down, this guilty feeling being handed down from his father. See, in South Korea, they used to have a system that punished down to 3 generations in your family if they commit a specific crime. This guilt by association system does not exist anymore, but it has left this guilty feeling toward the victims by his father. By surprise, somebody left this book out for him. See, his father had written this story. Once again, his father will be the hot potato that everyone will gossip about. Not by surprise, many victims want this book to not be sold, especially since the book is being told by Namu's father, who is still in prison. He goes to Nakwon when he feels too much to bear. He can't find her, but he sees her in a vending machine on the inside picture panel. He knows that this book is going to bring her distress and bring pain to more people. He knows he's going to have to face all kinds of turmoil very soon, but his paradise will be the thing that carries him over, because he wants to be stronger and protect his paradise, Nakwon. As a supporting actress, she is also struggling. She's hiding her mother's name and her relations because of how her mother was tragically killed. She has a positive attitude and upright personality, and she takes some small supporting roles. In fact, to support the co-actress that she's working with, she is sponsoring kind of a meet and greet where they can talk about the drama. But she's sure that she'll be facing some hard questions. When she went to promote this drama she was in, she got cut by a journalistic team who was chasing Na-woo, who was, of course, the son of the serial killer, and she has a panic attack and loses control. This drama definitely shows that these couples are tied closely, that their lives are tangled together. She was the one who cared for him and also invited him to see her come and get whenever it was too much to bear. She will always be there for him. At the bus terminal, he sees her, and she's talking to him. Come to me when you're in pain and going through any hardship. I would like you all the time, Nakwon. Namu did not hide his background, especially his father that was a serial killer. He feels that he needs to ask forgiveness with his life to donate his public service. He made top ranking in his graduating class, and he got the presidential award. On the graduation day, the victims have shown up. They're protesting his well-being, the hypocrisy of his family to let him do well. There's too much humiliation, so he leaves the scene. And then his paradise shows up in person this time. She's also avoiding a spotlight that could be covered up with a hat, and she wants to cuddle onto him. The two have then shared this affection, and it hasn't been gone. It's the same as from the past. The reporters eventually catch up with them and find them together. The reporter has chased him, and they throw sharp and insensitive questions at him. He only tells the reporter to leave the girl alone. My sense is that he has too much to bear from his mother's tragedy. One reporter that's been following Na-woo's dad, she visits his father regularly, being close to the reports of similar serial killers in similar situations. Eventually, the reporter found out that all 3 people had their lives tangled up together. Na-woo's dad has an apprentice from jail, and his apprentice wants to follow up with his teacher's style of killing. Also, he wants to help his teacher to make a plan to get him out of jail. They felt his teacher wouldn't be able to reduce the sentence. The serial killer felt that his son has been distracted by Nakwon, and he wants to finish his job regarding Nakwon and Namu. Namu's brother, who's of course been released from jail earlier, wants to act out on his father's wishes as well. He has this hate towards his younger brother Namu, being in all ways a yes man and frankly smarter than him. He blames his younger brother, who testifies against their dad, which of course was for killing innocent people. The older brother is already following Nakwon all around. Namu went to the hospital to check on his co-worker, who had been stabbed earlier, and he found that Nakwon was laying on the hospital bed right beside him. You know, without much surprise, he gets rest once again, not only from his wound, but once again she brings him his peaceful paradise in the midst of this chaotic life. When he woke up, she was gone. She was going to sneak out of the hospital, but a reporter did catch up with her. As she was panicking, Namu then rescues her. He visits his stepmom and expresses his sadness. He couldn't get so close to her because he was his father's son. She was the victim's daughter, after all, and he felt to get close to her would only be hurting and damaging her career. Even though he's not able to explain everything to his stepmother, he told her that he'd met somebody that he shouldn't, and his stepmom understood that agony. Nakwon received this gift box containing the very same handy hammer. She brings it to Namu, and he is then assigned her case. Now that he's able to stand up for himself even more than before, he's able to protect her in a closer place. This last scene that we're going to show has Namu's narration saying, "My only one paradise." Now that unforgotten memories are all present, he can once again save her from his father? I don't know. You have to wait and see.